There's something almost everyone has experienced, a moment when you made a mistake, and instead of receiving understanding, you were met with anger, humiliation, or harsh words that stayed in your mind far longer than the mistake itself. And maybe, without realizing it, we sometimes do the same thing to others. In life, we meet all kinds of people, different personalities, different emotions, different struggles hidden behind silent smiles. And no matter how intelligent, experienced, or careful someone may be, every human being makes mistakes. It is part of being alive. No one wakes up in the morning hoping to fail. No one plans to disappoint others. But the human mind is complicated. It is often influenced by stress, fear, confusion, desire, frustration, and emotional pain. Sometimes people act carelessly. Sometimes they misunderstand situations. Sometimes they simply have a bad day. That is the nature of life. And because of that, mistakes will always exist wherever humans exist, inside families, friendships, workplaces, schools, businesses, and relationships. But here is the real question. How do you respond when someone makes a mistake? Because your response reveals more about your character than their mistake reveals about them. Most people react with anger. They raise their voice. They use shame, blame, sarcasm, and resentment. They criticize people publicly. They make others feel small in front of everyone else. This has become normal in today's world. If someone fails, people attack them. If someone misunderstands something, people mock them. If someone makes one mistake, others suddenly forget every good thing that person has ever done. But think carefully. Has anger ever truly helped someone grow? When people are shouted at, they stop listening. When people are humiliated, their heart closes. When people feel attacked, they become defensive instead of reflective. An angry mind cannot clearly teach another angry mind. This is why harsh words often fail to create real change. They may create fear for a moment, but they rarely create wisdom. And this is something deeply understood in the teachings of Gautama Buddha. The Buddha explained that if you truly want to correct someone, guide someone, or speak about a mistake they made, there is a wise and compassionate way to do it. Not through cruelty, not through humiliation, not through emotional violence disguised as honesty, but through awareness, timing, truth, and kindness. According to these teachings, there are 5 important qualities your speech should have when addressing another person's mistake. And the first one is this: your words must be spoken at the right time. Timing changes everything. Even good advice sounds terrible when delivered in anger. If a person is emotionally overwhelmed, frustrated, embarrassed, or furious, their mind becomes closed. In that moment, they are not truly listening. They are only reacting. That is why wise people do not correct others during emotional storms. They wait. They allow emotions to settle. Because when the mind becomes calm, understanding becomes possible. Imagine someone already feeling guilty about what they did, and then being attacked publicly in front of coworkers, friends, or family members. The mistake may be small, but the emotional wound can become very deep. Many people never forget the moments they were embarrassed in front of others. That pain stays with them. So if you truly need to discuss someone's mistake, do it privately whenever possible. Speak with dignity. Speak calmly. Protect their self-respect instead of destroying it. Maybe invite them into your office. Maybe have a quiet conversation after everyone leaves. Maybe simply lower your voice and speak like a human being instead of a judge. Kindness does not weaken your message. It strengthens it. The second quality the Buddha taught is this: your words must be truthful. This sounds simple, but many people fail at this every day. Sometimes people react before understanding the full situation. Sometimes assumptions replace facts. Sometimes misunderstandings become accusations. And sadly, innocent people often suffer because someone spoke too quickly without knowing the truth. A damaged reputation is not easy to repair. That is why wisdom requires patience before judgment. Before accusing someone, make sure you truly understand what happened. Ask questions. Listen carefully. Try to see the complete picture instead of reacting emotionally to half the story. Because once trust is broken, rebuilding it can take years. Wise people seek understanding first, and judgment second. The third quality is one that modern society desperately needs more of. Speak gently, not weakly, not dishonestly, but gently. There is incredible power in calm words. A gentle voice can open hearts that anger can never reach. If someone working under your supervision makes a mistake, you do not need to destroy their confidence to teach them something valuable. In fact, the best leaders rarely scream. The strongest people are usually the calmest people in the room. So before criticizing someone, first acknowledge their effort. Recognize the good they have done. Let them feel seen as a human being, not just as a problem to be fixed. For example, you might say, "I know you work hard, and I appreciate your effort, but I think there's something important we need to improve together. Can you feel the difference?" Those words do not attack. They guide. They do not create fear. They create openness. And when people feel respected, they become far more willing to learn from their mistakes. This is the kind of wisdom we explore here on Soft Zen Mind. Not just how to live peacefully, but how to treat others with wisdom even during difficult moments. Because true maturity is not shown when everything goes perfectly. It is revealed in the moments when someone fails, and you still choose compassion over cruelty. When you respond to someone's mistake with calmness instead of anger, something powerful begins to happen inside their mind. Their defenses slowly drop. Their tension fades. And instead of preparing to fight back, they start to listen. This is the moment where real communication begins. Because when a person feels attacked, they stop hearing your message. They only hear your tone. But when they feel respected, they become open to understanding what you are truly trying to say. That is why the way you begin the conversation matters more than the complaint itself. First, create a sense of safety. Then bring clarity. After that, you can gently address the issue. You might say something like, "This mistake happened, and I want to understand it better. Can you help me see what went wrong?" Notice the difference. You are not attacking. You are inviting reflection. You are not humiliating. You are seeking understanding. And when people are asked questions instead of being accused, they naturally become more honest. They start thinking instead of defending. They begin to open up instead of shutting down. This is exactly how wise communication works. Once the situation is understood, the next step is guidance. Not punishment, not blame, but guidance. Explain what went wrong clearly and calmly. Help them see the impact of the mistake without destroying their confidence. Then ask thoughtful questions like, "What do you think caused this issue?" Or "What could we do differently next time?" These kinds of questions shift the mind from guilt to growth, from fear to learning. And here is something extremely important. Always separate the mistake from the person. A mistake is an action. It is not someone's identity. But when people are constantly told "you are wrong" instead of "this action was wrong," they start believing there is something wrong with who they are. And that kind of emotional damage can last much longer than the mistake itself. That is why after addressing the issue, you should also acknowledge their value. Remind them of their strengths. Recognize their effort. Let them know that one mistake does not erase their entire contribution. For example, you might say, "You are doing well overall and I can see your effort. This is just something we need to improve together." This simple balance of honesty and encouragement can completely transform the way people respond. Because when people feel valued, they do not shut down, they grow. And then comes the fourth principle, deeply aligned with the teachings of Gautama Buddha. Speak with a genuine intention of goodwill. Before you correct someone, check your own intention. Are you trying to help them improve? Or are you trying to release your frustration? Because the same words can heal or harm depending on the energy behind them. If your intention is pure, your words will naturally carry softness. And that softness reaches places anger can never reach. When a person feels that you are truly trying to improve their life, not to dominate them, not to shame them, they begin to trust you deeply. They sense sincerity, and that trust makes them more open to your guidance. They no longer feel judged. They feel supported. And finally, the fifth principle is this: speak with friendliness. Friendliness is not weakness. It is emotional intelligence at its highest level. When you approach someone like a friend rather than an opponent, everything changes. The atmosphere becomes lighter. The tension disappears. And communication becomes natural. A friendly tone makes people feel safe enough to be honest. And when people feel safe, they reveal the truth more easily. They stop hiding. They stop pretending. They stop resisting. This is why great leaders, great teachers, and wise individuals always maintain a sense of calm friendliness, even during correction. Because their goal is not to win an argument. Their goal is to improve a situation. And when this approach is consistently applied, something beautiful happens. People around you begin to change naturally, not because they are afraid of you, but because they respect you, not because they are forced, but because they are inspired. They start listening more, they start trusting more, and they start growing more. So when you combine all these principles, right timing, truthfulness, gentle speech, good intention, and friendliness, you create a powerful form of communication that heals rather than harms. And this is the true essence of wisdom. At the end of the day, every human being is learning, every person is evolving, and every mistake is simply a moment of imperfection in that journey. So instead of rushing to judge, pause. Instead of reacting with anger, reflect, because you never truly know what someone is carrying inside their mind. Sometimes a little kindness at the right moment can change a person's entire life direction. And that is the kind of power Soft Zen Mind wants to remind you of today. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on how you respond to others in your daily life. Small changes in communication can create massive changes in relationships. Thank you for watching. If you found value in this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Soft Zen Mind for more calming wisdom, mindful teachings, and life-changing insights. Stay kind, stay aware, and keep growing quietly with wisdom.